computer. Forget it. Hey, Tom. Any chance your computer's up here with you? I have a quick question. Any chance your computer's up here? Unless you have one, I need a files presentation is on this, which is a USB-A, and I only have USB-C port. Damn it, I have one in my car. I'm going to grab it. I have 4 minutes. I got it. It's in my car. I know exactly where it is. You guys have another USB-C. Okay. Unless you wanted to do that, email it to me, but it's either way. I'm going to go grab it. It's in my car. You sure?
It'll take me less than 4 minutes.
I'll take it.
Well, that's really good timing, Tom. Less than 4 minutes, huh? I'm not usually there after this.
Yeah, are you collecting? I am. In the mail. And $100. It may have, if it all fell out. It could be far underneath that. Okay. So maybe it's but the check is there. And I can still. You might have to fill out another one. Yeah. After this is over, I'll find a little stuff. And I know I've got a couple that are that I purchased from. From today. Roger Smith was wondering who was going to be collecting, so if he doesn't find you, back that.
Both of them, yeah.
Lyle, is it called Club Visit Presentation 2020?
Yes, it is. There's something like
Oh,
P5 or something like that.
that's right. It's too big to email, so I wouldn't have gotten it done in 4 minutes.
This is why we did the monthly computer. I could see it smaller. It's got a couple of videos.
Sure.
How you doing?
Hey, Wes.
Hey there, we're here. Hi there.
How you doing, Tom?
Good. We're getting there slowly but surely.
Hi, Jody.
Bruce, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Good.
Well, I've been saying all along that anyone who's making a decision based on what they know.
I guess I'm in one of my branches, so I better make sure that there's nothing that customer confidential that anybody's going to be able to see.
Oh, yeah, that's important. Yeah, I'd like to make a withdrawal, please.
Yeah, right.
So I guess the
Well,
only
there
thing
you
you
go.
can.
Oh,
Hi, Jody. Hi, Julie. Hi, Bruce. What's up, guys?
Hey, Wes.
How you doing? Nice to see you all.
Hey,
Hey,
Gene.
Gene.
So,
What's up, my man?
You're comfy here today,
When we
Gene.
get,
I know I'm reclining.
Yes, you are.
we ask Jody to make sure she takes.
Jody, you must be working from home.
No, I'm in a branch actually.
Oh, are you?
They're letting us go into three days a week. We can go into branches and only one branch a day. So I'm in one of the offices here, yeah.
Huh.
But today is I'm wearing my Green Bay Packers shirt because
Oh, yes, you are.
Got my bear
because
jacket.
in all
Jody?
of our branches on Fridays, it's orange and blue or Bears Day because we're the official bank of the
Hey,
Bears. So they
Jody,
let
Glenn,
everyone wear
Jody.
Bear stuff.
Hey,
So
Glenn's got a question.
Jody, we're gonna
Yes.
have a vote today on $14,000 to expedite to the ACE2 grant.
Okay,
So I will need you to take minutes on that.
okay, will do.
And one of the reasons why we're doing this is because we don't have any formal minutes on when in the first place.
Okay, okay. So basically, just take minutes on. Are you having
We're
discussion
gonna
on
open
it
up the
or
meeting
just
as
the
a
vote?
foundation meeting, take the vote.
And just take.
There might be discussion, and then we'll move on.
Okay,
Oh,
got
yeah.
it. I'll do it.
Jody,
Everyone thinks you gotta go sit down.
I'm going to send you a chat. Okay.
Okay.
Please find their places. Gabby Vargas, would you mind, please? I got it. Sorry, guys. Gabby Vargas, would you mind please leading us in the four-way test? Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and benefits? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And can I have Mike Erickson, would you mind please doing an invocation for us?
Sure. In honor of Uncle Joe, I'll use the traditional. Lord, bless this food you're about to receive. You know, you already ate. Bless Rotary International and this particular club. officers, directors, members of the board. May we continue to raise the funds for those who need. Lord, bless our troops, wherever they may be.
Thank you very much, Mike. If we could please have a seat. And I recognize that I did this out of order and I did the four-way test first instead of the four-way packs. I am sorry for that, and I know Alan is furiously scribbling away at his board right now, making sure that I am assessed properly for that. If we could, because we have a number of guests here today, and this is normally where we would do, could we introduce some of the guests that we have? We start at the back table, would you mind? Yep. And I guess I take that back. Maybe you're not so much a guest. Not Gabby's not a guest, but Glenn, would you mind introducing our guest at your table? I will. Ladies and gentlemen, with us today is our District Governor Lyle Staub. And go ahead.
Assistant Governor. He's our Assistant Governor.
Assistant Governor Mike Musson.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for being here, Mike. Appreciate it. So, I found a couple of good stories to share with everyone this week, and it's my hope that you will join me. So first things first, I trust you guys at home can see this, and this is one that you might have seen on the internet this week, and I think everyone knows that I have a proclivity towards flying and pilots and things. Well, this one I thought was really cool, and I want you to think about what you did as a cool summer job once. This is a 19-year-old Chinook helicopter pilot that is flying out in California fighting wildfires. And if you don't know what a Chinook helicopter looks like, this is what a Chinook looks like. It's a multi-engine, multi-rotor, big firefighting plane or helicopter that she's using out there, flying co-pilot for her father as a summer job, a 19-year-old pilot. I thought that was pretty cool and not something that I'm anywhere near. One thing that I found a couple of weeks ago I thought was really cool that I couldn't share because of timing was right after Hurricane Laura that hit a couple of weeks ago. Local McDonald's owner in Louisiana gave away 10,000 free meals. All he did was call up corporate. He said, this is what I want to do. And he turned all of his McDonald's that he owns, because he owned a bunch of them, in stations where people could just go get free food. So I thought that was pretty cool. Last, this one ticked all the boxes for me. It is kids, it is local, and it is little baby animals. So I thought this one was really cool. Two 11-year-old girls down in Indiana, right around the dunes, were, get this, going around their neighborhood, asking their neighbors, as they do all the time, if they can check their window wells. You know, the window wells for basements, for little animals to try and help them out. They did find two little baby chicks. They called the Indiana Department of Resources, found out that they were endangered species. I forget the name of these birds, but the Indiana Department of Natural Resources picked them up, nursed them back to health, and they just released them with the kids at Indiana Dunes National Park, these two little things. So for me, it kind of hits everything there. The kids, the little baby animals, and if that doesn't put you in a darn good mood to talk about happy dollars, I don't know what will. So, why do I hear myself? I know why I hear myself. Sorry, guys, give me 1 second. There we go. So, can I ask, besides me, who's happy out there? And you know what? I'm going to start with happy dollars because I'm really happy today. 2 reasons. I'm really thankful for what I get to do every other week, which is I go and get a coronavirus test. I have a fabulous doctor's office, and being in the position that I'm in here, I felt it necessary to do it every 14 days, and I have done. I had my 7th coronavirus test this week, and I'm clean and clear, but I just want you to know that's something that I do on yours and everyone's behalf. And so thankful to my doctor's office for making it so easy to do that every single week. Second, I am driving on the track at the Indy 500 tomorrow in a car that's not mine. I don't have to worry about the tires or the brakes or anything. So I'm going to have fun driving a car on the track. Who else is happy out there? Who do we got? I got Bill Kelly. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, $5 that have walked in and was reminded that the White Sox secured a place in the playoffs.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Congratulations. So, Mike Erickson.
I have 5 happy dollars. I think it's a compliment of one of Lyle's club members. Sunday, Lyle and I got to play against a couple of his friends at his country club. and we took $5 from them. So
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. And you're giving it back to the club. Yes, the 5. Thank you. Looking to see if we got anybody else who's happy. I see. Hey, Pat, how's it going?
I am $5 happy that the Bears won on Sunday.
Yes, they did. I like your mask too. You can't see Pat has a Bears mask on, and it's absolutely awesome. All right. Looking to see, do we have anybody online who's happy? I'm looking to see you guys, and might be able to see yourselves here, as a matter of fact. And I'm not seeing any, and which is actually kind of okay this week because we got a lot of business to get to, ladies and gentlemen. Have some club business, and I had Glenn Garlick up there, but Glenn is going to do a presentation on Polio now for us, hopefully in a couple of weeks. Bob, Glenn's going to get in touch with you about that. I was hoping, do we have Eileen Higginbotham with us on the call? I'm looking to see if Eileen has any announcements. First of all, come on up. Thanks, Gabby.
Hello, everyone. So I have an announcement for Eileen with Eileen. We're going to be doing a garden grooming tomorrow at the Children's Advocacy Center garden right here in Hoffman Estates. We, in combination with my passion project with suicide prevention, we're going to be working with them to help them sell the bricks that they have in their garden to bring back to their organization. And at the same time, bringing up the amount of children who die by suicide, and knowing that trauma is the #1 cause of reasons why children take their life, we're bringing that awareness together. So we want to say thank you to Don Miner, Gary Anderson, Julie Clark, Bob Flesher, Glenn Garlick, Fern Burt First, and Peter Arnold for already accepting to come out tomorrow morning to volunteer and help clean up the garden for an event that we'll be having in October, where the Hoffman Estates mayor already accepted our invitation to proclaim the day. And we want to bring other important people, and by important is people that are willing to share the message of giving hope and saving our children. So if any of you guys would like to join us tomorrow, you can bring your own tools, a shovel, a hand shovel, a rake, bring a hat, eyewear, and your own water, and join us tomorrow to get this garden prepared for what we believe has a lot of potential to work with the Children's Advocacy Center organization and helping children that they help and supporting them through the needs that they have to be able to serve the community. So thank you again and have a good morning.
Appreciate it, Gabby. Everyone try and join them tomorrow morning at the Butterfly Center. What time is it, Gabby? 9 o'clock. Thank you. Appreciate it. You guys are doing wonderful. Thank you for that. Glenn Shergott, I'm going to ask you to come up because we have some club business to take care of really quick, and I'm going to let, some foundation business, and I'm going to let Glenn take care of that. Excuse me. Can I entertain a motion to suspend our meeting? Thank you, Boo. Thank you. Second by Brian.
Okay, I'd like to open up Schaumburg Hoffman Estates Rotary Foundation. Point of business is to expedite $14,225 to the ACE2 grant. I'd like to entertain a motion. Motion made by Mike Erickson, seconded by Lynn Sanasardo.
I can't see if there's discussion for a moment. I can see it.
How much was that?
14,200.
Correct. Everybody hear that? 14,225. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? It passes.
All right. Motion to suspend the meeting. Second.
Motion to adjourn this meeting. Vince made a motion. Daryl Moon second.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Well done. Good club business getting done today. And I see that Jody is furiously scribbling away. So that means that minutes have been taken of this. And we are just cruising along, everyone. This is incredible. The speed with which we are moving through this meeting. Next up on our list, and I hope, Alan, you're ready for us, is our wonderful fine master, as always, Mr. Alan Gabe.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You guys can hear me, but Wes, I don't know if Wes can hear me. Wes, you're not having any announcements first? You're muted.
Had announcements, Alan. My apologies.
Okay, well, we're going to start off like,
Hold on a second, Alan.
okay, I'll hold.
Sorry about that, guys. We got a couple more announcements. It was my fault for not calling everyone up in order. Sorry about that. Gail
That's
Vandenberg.
probably why the meeting is going so good.
Roger's got an announcement open. Holly's not here, so I am her cheerleader for today to encourage all of you to sell your vacation raffle tickets. If anybody needs any more, I have some with me. We are doing okay. Holly would say, yeah, we're doing great, but we're really just doing okay. To be able to fund the programs that we are supporting this year, we need everybody to go out and sell theirs. You can buy them yourself. That's always an option. Or sell them to your neighbor. Roger's been killing it, selling them on Facebook. Alan sent out a blast email to his clients, his colleagues, his friends, family. He is also killing it. Nancy, you're doing a great job. You know, you've got this whale that buys a ton of them every year, and I don't know how many he has bought this year, but hopefully he's going to come through again. But please consider, like I said, selling them to your friends, family, or buying them yourself. We've still got 31 people in the club that haven't bought one ticket. Out of those 31 people, 10 of them are past presidents. So, really, you know, and thank you, Daryl, you came through today and I crossed your name off the list. And I know I've talked to some of you guys. Bob, you had some that aren't sold. Bob. But you told me you've got them and you're going to be passing them in to me so I can cross your name off the list.
I'll get them. I just gotta find them.
Well, if you can't find them, buy them online. Better Unite. I'm sure Tom can send out that link one more time to make it easy. And so please get out there and sell your tickets. Thank you.
Hello, friendly club.
Hello, Roger.
Guys, the district governor's here. Hello, friendly club. I like it. So I'm here.
We should sing.
Coordinator for the Fishing Well Mentors.
Yay.
We are starting the program up very soon. We need 7 more people. So I have 9 already. We need 16 total. I'm going to pass around this. I would say this. This is probably the program where you can make the most impact with the least effort. So if that's important to you, this would be one to sign up for. Also, this year with the social distancing, a lot of these touch bases that you may have might be Zoom or web conference or however you might do that, meaning that if you go to Florida, you're still able to be a mentor. Okay, so I'll pass this around. Thanks for your time.
Thanks about Arizona. Yeah, what about Arizona?
That was absolutely one of the coolest things that I've done in my short time as a part of this club is be a part of the Fishing Well Mentor Program and be a part of the Fishing Well Scholarship Committee where we review the scholarships. My goodness, I mean, seeing both the need that's out there and seeing the impact that our dollars have on these kids is incredible. Please sign up, be a mentor with Roger. All right. Are there any other announcements or club business that I have not yet tackled? Because if not, that does mean that it is time finally for Alan Gabe. And Alan, I sincerely apologize about stepping on you before.
I understand, Wes. It's a very difficult job that you have. For many of you, well, at least 2 of you, know that tonight is the first night of Rosh Hashanah, and the year is 5780. So I thought, since we don't have any birthdays, but we do have the district governor here, I think we should sing happy birthday in lieu of a happy new year, in honor of our governor, to see how a club like ours comes together to do something like singing happy birthday. So Wes, could you get started out in the club, and us on the video will start happy birthday to you. Happy,
happy,
happy
birthday, dear Governor Lyle. Happy birthday to you.
Lyle, we did that in your honor. Lyle, we did that in your honor. So to go through Fun and Frolic today, if you're wearing what I am wearing, our Rotary sweater, you have no fines today. You are forgiven for all fines. If you are not wearing some Rotary attire, that'll be $2. And let me remind you that we are keeping track of who is paying and who is not. And you know, in December, we have a naughty and nice list that we'll send up to the North Pole. And those of you who are not paying, you know, will get more than coal in their stocking. If you were late to the board meeting, as some of the board members were today, that'll be a $2 fine. If you were late to the club meeting today, that'll be a $2 fine, though I don't think anybody was late. If you did not respond to this week's question, that'll be $3. It was a very clever question, so I don't see why people didn't come up with an answer. And I want to thank Jean Schlinkman for coming up with that question. It was very clever of you, Jean. I think Jean sent it to me when she still was talking about moving and she was trying to get out of paying fines. But thank you, Jean. Now I'm going to bring up something that Gail talked about. 31 members in our club have not turned in tickets to the Holiday Marriott ticket raffle. Of that, we have past presidents and we have board members. Some of the people, I'm not going to mention any names this week, but if you are a past president, if you've not turned in any tickets, that's a $5 fine. If you are a board member and you do not turn in any tickets, that's a $5 fine. And remember, we know who you are. And anybody else in the club who has not turned in their tickets, that's a $3 fine. I have some things for the district governor, but I'll wait for that in a little bit. I did want to share with the club some of the better answers that I have received in the question. And first of all, Jody, Daryl, Dom Ray, and Bob Fleischer, sucking up to the fine master is not going to relieve you of paying a fine. Jody, I think you were pretty clever, Alan. The reason is a fine master every week, you never have to pay a fine. Yeah, I agree. But I think you should pay $2 since, you know, you are a banker and you're a Green Bay Packer fan.
That was pretty
I don't have anything, personally, I don't have anything back against the Packers. You know, I grew up in a city that doesn't have a professional football team, Detroit. So you have to pay $2. Mary, Daryl Moon. I think our Fun and Frolic chairman is very clever to come up with such good reasons for paying a fine to the club. That's $2 for sucking up, Daryl. Tom Ray. I think our fine masters are clever. They can make giving money fun and help the club successfully fund our projects. You're right. Still pay $2, Tom. And Bob Fleischer. I'm surprised you don't wear boots when you send these in, Bob. I think you asking this question was really clever and the way didn't make any sense. I'll read exactly what he wrote. I think you asking this question was really clever, and the why shows what a clever guy you are to have us drain our brain for an answer. $2, Bob. Steve Lamp was the last one who turned in today. He's not at the meeting though, but we'll still find him. But I loved his approach because if you know Steve, this is perfect. His was the one that comes the quickest to my mind is the person who decided to add a punch cutter to a lighter for cigars. Now, all I need is one item to carry, and it also makes it so much easier to cut and light your cigar as you're driving. As you're driving, $5, Steve. Bruce, I love you, Bruce, for your answer. I imagine why you're such a successful attorney, because you charge by the word. I'm going to forward this to the Fun and Frolic, excuse me, to the Buzz Writer. Who is the Buzz Writer today?
That's Nanette Soa.
I'll forward this to Nanette so she can print these. We don't have enough time in our meeting for me to read what Bruce wrote. Mary Sprouse said, I like this one. I think Flex Seal glue is super clever. Makes a handy woman out of me. Almost as clever as duct tape. And then she says, simple things amuse me. And then Mike Orlock, who must know Mary, he says WD-40 and or duct tape. Both can do anything and everything. Every week, Bill Landwehr comes with an answer that makes me chuckle. I told Mimi I was rich before I proposed. And then Gary Anderson said, I think, Derek, how ironic that you asked for something clever and I can't think of anything clever to say in response to that question. So if I've mentioned your name specifically, that'll be a $2 fine. Tom Ghosh said, I love sitting next to George Panopoulos. He says the funniest things under his breath. Is George there today?
George is here today. Yeah,
Oh, George,
George.
you did not
You
submit
can't tell if he's got a mask on because you can't tell if he's speaking under his breath. Yeah.
Well, that's okay. He did not submit anything. So Tom, I'm going to fine you $2 for advertising for George. Jeff Fabrini loves his car. He went on and on and on about his new Tesla. I think he was just doing that to rub it in. And then, of course, Ted gave me a dissertation. And if those of you, as I know Ted well, I'm often very cynical. No, Ted, but then there are times that I find myself unbelievably impressed by the smallest things. Heat-resistant over-rack guards and power bars with outlets that are in different directions so you can plug things in. Okay, Ted, that'll be $2. We are going to be honored to have the current district governor, Lyle Staub, come and speak to us today. Those of us on the board, even those who came late, had the opportunity to listen to Lyle. And, you know, as everybody in the club will tell you, I shouldn't say rarely, I sometimes don't find guests. I wasn't going to file Lyle, except I want the club to listen to what Lyle said and didn't say, and then the club can vote on whether how much I should fine Lyle on the final meter. You know, about 4 years ago, I did a makeup in Sweden, and the makeup had the district governor who spoke in Swedish. And the president of the club came to me afterwards apologizing. I said, I know exactly what he said. He said, we need more members. He said, we have to be active. We can't just sit on our butts. We have to raise more money for polio. And he started laughing because that's exactly what his district governor said. So Lyle didn't disappoint. He talked about membership. The problem is, he said we need to increase membership, but he gave us no advice, no direction, no help. Lyle, we look up to you, even though you're sitting almost by yourself. We're looking up to you to give us some guidance. Also, our president, Wes Crockett, asked Lyle, so Your Highness, your Honorable Fuba District Governor, how's our club doing? And Lyle said, oh, you're fine. Lyle, don't you read Rotarian magazine? There was a 7-page article in this month's Rotarian magazine about our club. That is at least the third time this year our club has been in the Rotarian magazine. In fact, my wife turned to me and she said, don't other clubs do anything? Lyle also said that the average amount other clubs raise a year in fundraising is about $34,000. Lyle, we raised $34,000 in fines for fun and frolic. And you think our club is just fine? So club, since Lyle thinks our club is only fine, I don't know what he wants to think, if the club is good or better or great. I'm going to let Wes be the fine meter, starting at $5 and going up. So club, what do you think we should fine Lyle Staub for dissing our club, the friendly club?
Oh, it's bouncing off the limiter. It's bouncing off the limiter.
Lyle, thank you for the $20 donation to our club. We really appreciate it.
How about the tickets I already bought, Alan? If I'd have known that, I wouldn't have bought them.
He said, what about the tickets he already bought, Alan?
So you're trying to tell me that when we're doing things for the benefit of the community, benefit of the kids, benefit of these people who are out of work, benefit of people who can't help themselves, you're begrudging?
No begrudging, the money's on the table.
So that's all I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank Jean again for submitting the question. Also, I wish I could take credit for this. This was not my idea to do these questions. Jim Fabrini was the one who came up with it originally, even though Jim is not at the meeting and hasn't given me some suggestions past 6 or 7. So if you have any suggestions for further questions, please let me know. Everybody stay safe and healthy, and I look forward to seeing you next year, which will be for me Sunday, and look forward to seeing you next week. Everybody stay safe and healthy. Bye.
Hope that's the fiscal year, Alan. Thank you. Much
No,
appreciated.
it's a Jewish year. Didn't you pay attention? 5780.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you. We are honored to have a fabulous speaker today. Our district governor is joining us, as I mentioned. Thank you so much for being here, District Governor Lyle Staub, everyone. Thank you. And Lyle, just give me one moment. I'm getting your presentation up on the screen here.
Where do you want me to be?
You're going to be right here, and you'll see in just a moment. This is going to pop up. You're going to.
Alan, I want you to know that I have never been to this meeting without being fined. And usually it's because I'm a guest or something else. So now the fact is you misheard one of the things that I said, and I don't know if there's a fine for accuracy to you. I will get this out of you. You watch. All right.
Well,
So,
you should be honored that, I wanted to keep up the tradition of finding you at all the meetings you come to. Tradition is very.
Thank you very much. You are familiar with district governors from this club, with Julie, with Mike, with Don, and with whoever else is backwards on this banner here. Just thought I'd point that out to you. So it's my pleasure to be here with you today. Let me get this to move here. Not every club has their Pledge of Allegiance. Now, I know that you used the video that I did right before I became governor as a program. I will do my best not to repeat things, but I will point out the Rotary Opens Opportunity banner behind us. I don't know if you understand how that theme is selected. But there's a team in Rotary that comes up with an alternative, and they're going to make a proposal to the incoming president of Rotary. They want to choose something that means something to them. They want to choose something that maybe is culturally significant to them. So for Holger Knock this year, Rotary Opens Opportunities was very crisp. It was right in line with him. Next year, when we have Shekhar Mehta from India, we may have something that's a little more philosophical, a little more Eastern. And then the theme's got to be something that translates into all the different languages that Rotary does business in. So, as I think you might have seen in that video, Holger announced the theme at the International Assembly. In January, Rotary brings together all 529 district governors and their partners for their last bit of training. It kicks off with the president-elect revealing the theme, and this is what Holger had to say. So, as you can see, Rotary is not just a club that you join. It is an invitation to endless opportunities. It opens opportunities to serve. In a project as big and historic as NOU now, and also in a small project where you just start doing. And it opens opportunities for you to live a richer, more meaningful life with friends around the world based on our core values. As Rotarians, we are blessed to take on leadership roles at this wonderful moment for our organization. everything we do opens another opportunity for someone somewhere. And therefore, the theme for our year is Rotary opens opportunities. So when Holger said Rotary opens opportunities, he hadn't a clue of what we were going to go through. But he has said that he would not. Just use that. Okay. He has said that he would not change the theme because while he recognizes that there's substantial challenge in what we're going through, there also are singular opportunities, an opportunity for us to remake Rotary. But first, we had to get through the challenge. So we were talking in the board meeting. We had Pets, President-elect training. Wes was there that weekend of March the 8th when Holger talked about the opportunities and how excited he was about the year. And then it was 4 days later that when we got the district governor, Suzanne Gibson, and the rest of the people in the governor line together, 4 days later, things had gone to hell. We canceled RILA that was supposed to start in 5 hours. They were going to start picking up kids in just a few hours. Canceled that afternoon. We told 4 clubs, or talked to 4 clubs that had big fundraisers going on that weekend, and you guys were one of them. It was a great fundraiser. Praise love, Ellen. So, and we suggested that they either needed to remake their fundraiser or postpone it, and they did. And then the district, we canceled the spring training assembly, and then we canceled the district conference, and then we canceled the installation. From Rotary's standpoint, they canceled the Honolulu convention, and they had all of their 500 plus employees that work in Evanston start to work from home. They canceled all travel by any Rotary employee or official through December this year. They encouraged the district governors to look very seriously as to whether they should do their presentations live or really just. So we started canceling, and then we had to start to figure out what we were going to do as a result. We were to try to encourage the clubs to do virtual meetings immediately. And you were very quick to that. Actually, we had most of our clubs that within a few weeks had converted to meeting online. That was really well ahead of the curve compared to other districts in our part of the world, for sure. We then made a decision that we were going to redeploy $55,000 that we had in the district for matching grants on $1,000 per club basis. It's not a lot of money, but between us, we raised around about another $130,000 with what the clubs put in. And that went primarily for food security, but it was all in our local communities. From Rotary's standpoint, Rotary also freed up the coffers a little bit. They did make global grants a little easier to get if you were looking for COVID relief specifically. But then they also freed up $25,000 per district for a COVID relief grant. And we applied, we did receive it. I'll tell you that that check is going out at the beginning of this week, and it's going to both the Northern Illinois Food Bank and to the Greater Chicago Food Depository, based roughly on how many members we have in each one of those. Rotary also made a decision that they were going to redeploy assets from polio. And I'll talk about the consequences of that a little later on. So here we are now. We are 5 months past this, and we're trying to move on. So coming back to Holger's point, there are opportunities in what we're doing. We just have to find them. And coming to what Winston Churchill would say, the pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity, but the optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. And I want to talk about some of the ones that I think we have this year and going into the next few years. And the first one was the naming of Jennifer Jones to be the first female president of Rotary for Rotary year 22-23. Now, Jennifer's been around our district a lot. Many of you have seen her. Some of you know her pretty well. I can't think of anybody that I know in Rotary who is more qualified president of this organization than Jennifer Jones. She's been a trustee of the foundation. She's been a member of the board. She's the convener, the person that put together and organized the International Assembly that I went to. She is a tremendous communicator. And I think that's going to be extraordinarily important because in an organization as big and diverse as we are, not everyone thinks that having a woman president yet is a great idea. We're going into a time that we know there's more attention being paid to diversity and equity and inclusion, that there's more discussion of racism and our reaction to that. Those are difficult decisions. Jennifer can make those discussions go well. She'll represent us wonderfully. And what we need to do is to take advantage of that opportunity as an organization. To have the first woman president be as capable as Jennifer is, what are we going to do to try to tie into that, to attract other women to the organization, or young women to the organization, other people that are interested in that sort of thinking? This is a tremendous opportunity, and I love Holger. He's a president. I'm all serving with him, but I am jealous that Bill Kamisa gets to have Jennifer. A second thing that is an opportunity for us was another thing that, like having a woman president, was around 30 years in the making. And that was a decision to declare supporting the environment the seventh area of focus. You know, this was first proposed back in 1990-91 by the president that year from Brazil. Things have changed. Society had to adapt. And it won't surprise you to know that this is not universally being applauded. Because just as there are people like me that think that this is a wonderful idea, that it's the sort of legacy that I want Rotary to have, and I think that it is something that is tremendously important to people younger than me that we're trying to attract to this organization. They tell us that having a focus on the environment and a concern for it is something that is important to them in choosing what they support. So for all of the people like me, there are people that say the adoption of the environment as an area of focus means that you believe in global warming, that you believe in climate change. That's contrary to my belief, and I'm going to stop supporting the foundation as a result. We had some big donors that have told us that. It was the right decision to make. We hope that we're going to be able to convince them. But this is something we can absolutely build on. This officially goes into effect July 1st of 2021. We in our district have a team that's already working on environmental programs under Mark Gibson, who's our chair. We've got the Fox River cleanup going on this weekend. There's going to be another cleanup that's going to go on in the lake a little later on, and they're working on things. We're going to be able to build that, so stay tuned. Another opportunity that we're working on has to do really with going back to the early days of Rotary. Think about that first meeting, those four guys. They wanted fellowship, but they also wanted to help each other's businesses. In the early days of Rotary, that was a huge focus. And the classification system that we work on is designed to keep us from competing each other, to keep members from competing from each other. But a lot of clubs now have gone far away from that. They don't want to talk about business, and some clubs actually discourage any solicitation of their members by other members. Rotary thinks that's gone too far. We need to come back a little more towards the middle. We have gone through a pilot with District 6050, Chicago and South, and with Rotary International in Evanston on something called the Rotary Network. I think you might have heard about this, but let me just show you this brief video on it.
The Rotary District 6440 and 6450 have launched a new program to help Rotary and Rotarect through the COVID-19 economic crisis and beyond, the Rotary Network. Would you like to share knowledge with fellow Rotarians? How about vocational mentoring? Would you like to share support with one another in business? How about a business networking forum? Would you like resources for enhancing skills or job transitions? How about career services? Would you like to hire or join a Rotarian-based business? How about a job board? Would you like to do business with other Rotarians? How about a Rotary Business Directory? Would you like to gain knowledge of COVID-specific financial resources? How about a financial information directory? Would you like a place to share your ideas and success stories? How about idea sharing? We encourage all Rotarians to identify opportunities where you can personally participate and get involved. Details and sign up for the various programs can be found at www.therotarynetwork.org.
The video was put together by Dave Peterson, who's a member of the Batavian Club. He did it really quickly. I'm in awe of his skills. So that's the plug for him there. So the whole idea of the Rotary Network is Rotarians to Rotarians. How can we help each other? And as they said there, whether it's through job opportunities or just helping other people make a career change, whether it's doing some mentoring, and I'm signed up to be a mentor, whether it's just sharing experiences about a particular expertise that we have that ability to be of service to each other. So if you've not gone to therotarynetwork.org, do so. Take a look at it. Now, I'm retired. I don't have a business, but this is still important to me because I have some skills, I hope, that I acquired over all those years in business. And that might help someone else who's going through some changes in their life right now. So I'm a mentor. You too can participate in this program. The other thing that's going on from a vocational standpoint that you've heard a little about is this alliance between Rotary and Toastmasters. Honestly, we've not heard as much about it as I'd hoped. I think it's been slowed down a little bit with what's going on in the pandemic. But we have on our learning center on rotary.org leadership courses from Toastmasters curriculum. They have a terrific program for leadership development, and we're now taking advantage of that. We're promoting it to the Rotaractors first, but we're going to see more and more alliance and allegiance between these organizations. That's another thing that I think presents us an opportunity, and it's something that is an opportunity to us as existing members. And these are both opportunities for us to say what Rotary offers to its members when we're talking to prospects. I did talk in the board meeting, and I talked to everybody about that I wanted to work on this year, which were membership and fundraising, and there's nothing. Heck, we talk about them all the time, but they are what's important to us. From a membership standpoint, as a district, we do have a decline the last few years, but we can turn that around. There are people, first, that would be great members for the Rotary Club of Schaumburg-Hoffman Estates, love to come to your meetings on Friday, who want to be part of your conversation, and we've got to find a way to engage them. You know, there's a lot of people that 6 years in our base club, and we've got a satellite. That those kids, that my kids want to provide. So we as a district are going to work hard to do a number of things. There are some areas in the district that don't have clubs. We're talking to all clubs, and your club has a satellite, and my club has a satellite. About go out and find it. See if you've got some people that are the satellite in my club is an environmental sustainability satellite, and they're not worried about pulling people from Long Grove, Kildare, Hawthorne Woods. They're going to pull them from all over the district. They're going to pull them from all over the country. They're not competing with us as a club. Sometimes I go to clubs and they say, well, if we set up a satellite, we're not going to have as many people in our basic club. My reaction is, who cares? We want as many people to be Rotarians to do as much good as possible. We all have to evolve. And I bet you in my club, that satellite club is going to be the main club in a few years. And those of us that get together at 7:15 on Tuesday morning, we're going to be the satellite, and that's okay. We have the opportunity to think differently. And with the environment, with Jennifer, we can do what we can find ways to approach people we're not approaching today. So let's do that. From fundraising, I did not specifically say that I wanted the clubs to raise more money for the foundation. I will say that I do want them to raise more money for polio. But what's important is let's raise more money. Let's find ways to do it. We raise a lot of money in our clubs as a district, and we're crummy at helping each other do that, at sharing our knowledge across each other. Plus, we're in an environment now where we've got to find ways to raise money differently in a virtual environment. There's some terrific creative ideas that are going on out there. We need to share some of those and find some ways to make them easier for us. So those are things that we can do as a district, I think, to help facilitate. Now, there are 4 things that was at the International Assembly that Holger asked me to say to every club. One had to do with membership and with actively creating new types of club models. We're going to have in the next few months a passport club in the district. They will not have a permanent place of meeting. It will be almost exclusively an online club, except that their service projects will be with clubs in the district. They'll participate with them. There are other models that we're going to look at. Please be creative. Nothing is off the table. A second thing that Holger's asked us to discuss with each club is just, it would be really wise, it'd be useful to have some sort of strategic discussion as a club, to talk about your tactics, talk about where you want to go. Do that annually. A third thing that Holger asked us to mention also has to do with membership. And he said, select your new members carefully. Now, we are at 1.2 million members in Rotary. We've been at 1.2 million members in Rotary for some period of time because as many as we add, we lose. Some of them are no longer with us. A lot of them just never were good fits. We didn't take the time to understand what they wanted or whether we could provide it. And we didn't take the time, and they didn't take the time to say, what is it we expected them to do and what we expected them to be. Holger's asking us to make sure that when we're going through this dance and we're approaching new members, that we're clear about what we expect and what they expect, and that we're on the same page. He thinks that will actually cut down on the number of members we have that leave after 3 months and 6 months and 9 months, and it happens. The last thing that Holger asked us to do was to finish the job on polio and to host a World Polio Day event in October. Now, you just recently saw that Nigeria, and as a result, the African region, was declared polio-free. It had been 4 years since the last event. But Rotary made a decision to redeploy assets from polio to COVID. It's not the first time we've done that. We did it with the Ebola crisis a few years ago. And honestly, that's the legacy of what polio is going to provide. We're going to eradicate the disease, but when we're done, all of those labs, all those medical professionals, all those volunteers, and the logistical knowledge that we've developed is still there. And it's going to help whatever else needs to be done from a health standpoint in those countries. But in the meantime, we've got to finish polio. And you own numbers. We went from 350,000 cases in 1985 to 22 in 2017, 22. And we bumped up in 18, and we bumped up in 19. And what we've got left to do in Afghanistan and Pakistan is a challenge. We always knew the last mile was going to be hard. And there may be some consequences from this decision to redeploy. Now, we've pulled back. We've started doing vaccination in Pakistan again in those areas that are most at risk. But we have to finish the We're going to because our partners are committed to it. You know, since we started this campaign, Rotary clubs and Rotarians have given $2 billion to eradicating polio. The governments of the world have given more, and the US 3.3 of that. The single largest donor to the eradication of polio is the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They've given $4 billion. Bill Gates has lots of money. Thank goodness. And he said they are in it to the end. And we're going to be in it to the end. And the impact and the benefits that we're going to see will reflect well on Rotary and will change the world. So let's finish that job. So I'm asking every club, when I do these presentations, do something for World Polio Day on October the 24th. Do something. So if I'm in Cary, there's a billboard that usually advertises Trout Farm, but it's going to have the polio billboard for a couple of months. If I'm in Barrington, they planted a bunch of purple crocuses around the community. When those all come up, when they come up, that's their trigger to do something for polio. St. Charles Noon did polio shots. I love this idea. They worked with a number of different bars. They said, come in, get this polio shot class. Their hope was one time to try to extend this to all the clubs up and down the. Not going to happen here, but it's going to happen. We have a proclamation going on, and we have the Huntley Club that is doing a polio, a benefit classical concert online. And then we've got other things, but whatever you can do would be much appreciated, even if all we do is build attention for this. So my first thing is do that. Do something for Polio Day. The second thing is adapt. We've gotten very flexible, and we're not done because we're not done seeing how this plays out. You know, I've mentioned to some people before that we have clubs started meeting in person, and then they found people that had been in their meetings were diagnosed with the coronavirus. What do you do then? We're going to have to continue to be flexible. And likewise, as we serve our communities, we're going to have to find ways to be creative with them because their needs are different, but they still have great needs. Inviting people. So we have a good attendance here today with a good attendance online, but it's not everyone in this club. What's happening with people that aren't here? Let's not lose anyone because of this, because of what we're going through. Let's stay in touch with them. And likewise, let's invite in our communities other people to be part of this. You know, we're adding members to clubs in our district. Mike was telling me that when I'm at the Bartlett Club next week, we have an induction. I inducted 2 on yesterday. We've added about 30 new members, some of whom wouldn't have joined us the way we were operating, but the virtual environment works for them. And people like Jean, who are in Florida, now can still be part of our meeting. So let's make sure that we're inviting. The last thing that I ask you to do is matter, and Alan is absolutely right. What you do matters. You had a tremendous fundraiser, the work you did, or the work with ACE, all of that matters to the people who rely on us. You know, we do have clubs and members that are just taking a break right now, waiting to see what's going to happen with the coronavirus. I think that's a mistake. It's a mistake because I'm not sure they'll ever come back. It's a mistake because we joined Rotary for service, and the people rely on us for the good we do. To them, we matter. The highest praise that I can give anyone is that their lives matter. And those of you in this room and the work that the Rotary Club of Schaumburg-Hoffman Estates does matters. So congratulations to that. So as we look at trying to live up to Rotary's vision statement, which together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities and in ourselves. As we continue to work towards that, I ask you, make sure that we matter. Make sure that this year, and it's a hard year, that we adapt and invite and we matter. We do that and we aim high. We don't just settle for what we could do. We find new ways to serve. And while we're doing that, and every time that we do the four-way test, I'd ask you to add the fifth one, which is, will we have fun? You know, we joined Rotary. Some of my fondest moments are the humor that I've had, the laughs I've had with people, the experiences I've had. Some of the things that I am most grateful for in my life are the times that I've worked with Rotary and Rotarians to do good. We've got to continue to have fun. And if we adapt and invite and matter, and we have fun, we as an organization are going to come out of this really, really strong. I'm confident, as Holger says, there are opportunities where we are. Let's find them. Thanks very much. And I know I'm running late.
Thank you very much, Governor. I appreciate it. Ask everyone to please rise, if you will. And I did things out of order today, so I'm going to ask Nanette. So would you mind please leading us in the four-way pact? I'll have the courage to tell the whole truth. I will be kind in the way I tell it. I will be fair and not seek selfish advantage. I will have an open heart and an open mind. Thank you. This week, everyone, I ask you to make one sees that your actions show that Rotary opens opportunities. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, guys who are online. We appreciate you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mary. Nice to see you. Hey, Jody. Lauren, I'll see you in a little bit.
See you, Wes.
Bye, guys.